everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays Dark Souls 2. We're at our first bonfire in the Lost Bastille, and I must stress to you, there's parts of this area I like, but in general, it's a big area of Dark Souls 2. It's not an area I'm super fond of, and I'll explain why as we get going. But the very first thing we want to do is, if possible, do so. Oh my god, every time. I kind of hate plunging attacks in this game. You can feel the frustration growing here. Most of the time, I just run past these enemies, so I don't even get to the situation where I actually get hit here. But I'm trying to do a little bit less of lion stratting. I know it bothers some people. I think it's kind of silly that it does, because in my opinion, you know, whatever you can do to survive in Dark Souls is A-okay. You know, whatever you have to do to get around in the world of Drangleic here, by all fucking means, take it, because this is not a game that holds your hand. It's a difficult game. But, you know, at the same time, it is sort of walkthrough-y, so I want to make sure that I'm doing my damnedest to, if you're having trouble with the game at home, at least give you some kind of fodder for improvement. It's a pretty easy section here, as long as you're patient with the enemies. You don't have too much risk of death. As always, the problems in Dark Souls are that A, the enemies are sometimes a little tricky, and or B, there's a lot of them. Main problem here is that there's a lot of them. And that's not going to change as we make our way to what is actually a boss fight here, not to spoil things for you. This is a genuine objective problem, I think, with the game. This guy's supposed to kick this barrel. He kicks it down at us, and then it hits that, like, explosive part of that wall there and blows it up. You can see that looks very, you know, not like it's in a great position, structurally speaking. However, half the time he just doesn't. So what you actually have to do if you want to unlock what is basically a not just a shortcut, but a bonfire here, so you don't have to fight those dogs at the start again. I know we did just have a bonfire like mere seconds ago. Oh, good. Yeah, let's get 3 dogs in the rotation instead of just the normal 2. Great. Yeah, that was a good choice on my part. Now what we do is we run. And we run, and we sprint, and we roll into the barrel, and we... Oh, God, it's gonna... Oh, it's... Yes! No. Oh, my fucking Lanta. Okay. Now, we're gonna fight all these enemies down here, I guess. There is a bonfire, if I could just stop being such a dingle. Okay, you need to die. We have the 100% block shield, so we should be okay. Just want to make sure that we're being patient here. This will be a bad time to die. Oh no, I forgot that they could do this! I'm alright. He probably could have ripped out my fucking soul there, so I'm glad that he instead was a little bit more lenient on me. Now, just no dogs from behind. And this should be... That's also what I have on my celebrity rider. You know, I'm a YouTube Z-list celebrity. So when I have a rider, which means basically my agent is like, no green M&Ms are allowed when Ryan comes to your convention. It also says no dogs from behind, which is like a... You know, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a sexual thing. So we're going to try to be real clever here. Oh, I'm such a clever guy. Don't we have a bow? This is probably the only time we'll use a bow over the course of this entire game. I've never even used one in my off-camera play. Did I put bolts in there. We don't want bolts. We want arrows. Iron arrow is acceptable. Alright, let's see if this actually freaking works. No, that's using your shield to attack. Now, there should be an explosive barrel here. Let's take it out. Let's aim and shoot. I got the Drake sword once. I know how this works. I don't want to talk about video games. Is there a way that maybe I could use a fire arrow instead? I probably should have used a fire arrow in the first place. That was so stupid of me. Which arrow am I using here? Find out, I guess. That's another iron arrow. I really don't think this is going to work. But it might, so I might as well try. We can get this bonfire at a later date as well. He just won't shoot it. That's good news for everybody involved, I'd say. Alright, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Because we've reached basically the end of where we would be attacking enemies. We got dogs. We can kill these dogs if we want to. Oh, I'm a dog. I'm so mad. Let me inflict bleed on you. No, dog. I'm not going to let you do that. In fact, just to placate you, maybe I will come up here for a brief second. Because there actually is an NPC that we could talk to, I guess. Here we go. Just make sure you're not getting killed in the dumbest way imaginable by these guys. Which is definitely getting knocked off the freaking edge. Okay. Now, they're dead. There's no bonfire over here. At least there's not a bonfire over here. I've already been up that ladder, by the way. I had to scrap an episode because my computer stopped halfway through recording. There's normally an NPC in here. This is totally botched. Whatever. We're going to homeward bone out of here and go back to our bonfire. So that's how you'd handle it if you were a normal person and you wanted to attack every enemy that you saw in Dark Souls. I'm not just going back to show you my way of actually doing it. I'm going back because we have no Estus, so I think this is a good idea. And I'm also going to humanity up, because there is a summon that we can use for this AI fight. And also equip some pine resin. Why don't we show off how pine resin works? It's not all pine resin, I guess. But we'll go with the human effigy here, because we're not human right now. When you use humanity, now it makes you human instantly. So you don't have to worry about actually being at a bonfire. But we're going to rest up anyway. And I'm going to open up my equipment menu quickly. And why don't we pop up a... what do we have? Like a rotten? Oh, a dark pine resin. Okay, that's cool. Now, time to lion strat. This usually works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's hope that it does. We're going to have a boss fight here, a boss fight that is not super difficult, but it gave me a little bit of trouble when I was playing through off camera, especially before I knew that the AI summon actually existed. So it's fairly easy to actually get around these enemies. Again, if you want to fight these guys and farm souls or something, more power to you, I guess, but it's, oh, I've never seen that item up there, actually. It's not really my style, and to be honest with you, I think the style of actually just running through enemies works pretty well. I don't think anyone would call, you know, Dark Souls speedrunners bad at Dark Souls, and this is an approach that they take. I'm not saying I'm nearly as good as those people. I'm just saying, I think, you know, if you can run in Dark Souls and you know the paths that you can take to be successful, by all means, man, go to town. Now, of course, this does mean that enemies will chase us along the way. By opening this door, we have opened up our path to the boss fight. I did take a little fall damage there, but that's okay. I may not have time to get this item before the enemies find me. Soul of a Proud Knight, human effigy. Well, I'm glad I got it, because it's only going to cost me one human effigy to do this to begin with. Because, you know, I'm human right now. Humanity doesn't heal you anymore, by the way, so we don't want to use that for that purpose anymore. But we do want to come in here. This is where my, I panicked, basically, as my computer froze and was like, well, I might as well die so I don't have to restart an episode. And Pilgrim Belclair is going to come here. Oh, there is an AI enemy. He's coming for me. Let's just kill him. Pilgrim Belclair is a sorcerer. I'm so fucking mad at myself. Thank you for that, finally. It's not like I summoned you to do that or anything like that. Those other enemies don't give an S about anything, I guess. So let's just use a life gem rather than an Estus. Estus is faster, so I like to keep that for the actual fight itself. And we're going to fight the 3 Guardians right now, basically. So let's drop into this boss fight. You don't need Dark Pine Resin. I don't know if Dark Pine Resin is particularly effective, but resins usually give you like an extra 30% damage or so. As you can see, we're doing a decent amount here. Fairly standard Dark Souls practice. Staying close to the enemy. There's our summon. And I'm just going to rely on him to basically just use magic. If he's capable of just using his sorcery and I can keep the aggro, it's going to be a good fight for everybody involved. The thing that makes this different from a typical Dark Souls 2 boss so far is that there's 3 of them. Right now, we only have to worry... Oh, he's in a bad state. That was stupid of me. Ah, but he's dead. Okay. Right now, we only have to worry about 1, but that'll change. Now, these enemies are going to come up. I'm actually going to pop another life gem quickly. Good hit. These enemies are going to come up here, so we should shield. Try not to get knocked off. There we go. And again, if I can keep the aggro, it's better for me. Now, there will be a second Guardian that comes up, or Sentinel, I should say, not Guardian. So what I'm going to do is wait till that second one comes up, which should be any second now. And that was stupid of me. Now I'm going to roll down and try to keep their aggro, because I really don't want Pilgrim Belclair to be taking the damage directly. And the reason for that is that he's not tanky. He's like very much the opposite of tanky, but he's a glass cannon, so if he actually does hit the enemy, he does a lot of damage. Fighting these guys one at a time, super duper easy. Unfortunately, you know, Pilgrim Belclair doesn't have the best AI of all time. Now, if I can keep the aggro on me, if I only... Oh, that's really bad, actually. If I only end up fighting one of them at a time, that's good news. They're both going to spin at me. Good. The aggro's on me. Pilgrim Belclair, just whittle him down. That was a good one. That was a good one. Yep, stay on me, and I'll just shield, and the AI summon can do a lot of the damage. I'll try to get in a hit whenever I can. That's the good stuff right there. So the other one is the one that I want to take out first because he's lowest. It's lowest, I guess. Let's be reasonable here. And if we could just get this killed, that would be beautiful. Pilgrim Belclair doesn't have anything to defend himself, so he's just going to die if we don't do anything. There's only one left. This should be easy enough now. Good. So we can actually find that Pilgrim Belclair actually lives through this fight, which is kind of good. Well, it's not good. It's funny, though. He's probably the most useful AI summon that I've seen in this game so far. There have been a lot of AI summons that have just been absolutely god-awful. Pilgrim Belclair at least does some damage. A lot of AI summons just walk into the fight and die instantly. So I would say that it's a pretty good boss fight there. A victory achieved. The fog walls will open up and we will get another... Hey, you're all right, man. You get out of here. We will get another... well, the boss soul we can use for a weapon, but that's going to happen a little bit later. For now, we should have another bonfire that we can actually get to. And also, we'll be introduced to some of... like my least favorite enemies of all time. But first, I think there's some more items that we can kind of milk out of this area. You got to be careful about that. First things first, though. Jump. Okay, that was a little close, but we ended up picking up 3 homeward bones. Was it worth it? This is all right. Didn't make that jump, but again, that's okay, too. Now, the thing we have to be very concerned about as we come up here is there's a trap. And I hate to spoil that for you in case you wanted to experience the awful death for yourself first. But there is an enemy that just, like, explodes in here. Just play it cool for a second. Don't let him know I'm here. I hear him doing things. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. He explodes in a hail of fire. I know it to be true. Maybe if I sprint through, I'll be okay. Oh, God. Yeah, okay, he blew himself up. We're all right, though. So this is our next bonfire. I kind of forget what happens after this point. But it may actually be a boss fight that maybe we're not supposed to be at yet. Let's hang out in the servants' quarters for now. Like, we'll keep that as our progress for now. But I gotta head back to Majula. We could, upgrade some stuff. But really, I'm just gonna level up. And I know a lot of people are like, upgrade adaptability. Upgrade adaptability. That's okay. I know that is the, perhaps flavor of the game. Not just flavor of the week or flavor of the month. But I have a Dark Souls build that works for me. I would rather stick with something I know than something I do not know. Alright. Yeah, seek larger souls. We all know what your business is. She tells us if we have an Estus Flax Shard, by the way. 30 strength is absolutely adequate. I think that's all we need to have. We're going to crank up our endurance a little bit for extra stamina. Crank up our vigor a little bit. And I think we should crank up our vitality a little bit. Got 3 levels in each of those. That'll take us to level 50. It gives us a higher equipment load, so maybe I can actually, like, put on gloves or something and still not be fat rolling. Let's check, though. We're at 62%. Yeah, we can put on gloves now. So that's exciting. We get a little bit more armor in a multitude of different areas. We might as well go with the ones that are part of the set. And not fat rolling. That's good news. Do we have anything to repair? It sounds like I'm coming through customs or something like that. We'll see. Buy item. I think you can eventually buy boss weapons and... like, is it just called a spear? I wish it had... oh, it has names on the bottom. Okay, it is. Eventually we can buy armor sets from this guy, or armor sets from the other blacksmith, from bosses that we've killed. But for now, we don't need to worry about that. Instead, we'll just go back to the servants' quarters, and I'll try to figure out... I'm trying to remember if there's more bosses in the Lost Bastille. Again, I'm not playing this through blind, but I haven't played through the Lost Bastille in quite some time as I am closing out my off-camera playthrough of this game, so I actually know what the heck to do. And I'm sticking in offline mode because I don't trust myself to resist the temptation of summoning, like, human companions to actually beat the game for me. I know that some people consider it cheap because now I'm also avoiding invasions, but trust me, there will be Dark Souls 2 invasion content, both as the giver and the receiver. So we'll rest here, so when we die, we'll come back here. And we're in servants' quarters. Where do you go from servants' quarters? Well, there's one way to go, which is in front of us. But then there is also a way down here. And I believe that as we come down here, we'll get introduced to some of my least favorite enemies in the game. Are these exploding dudes? No, it's just more dogs. Okay, that's fine for now. Oh, you know what? I think I remember what boss fight we actually have awaiting us here. That is not a mimic, thankfully. Pop this bad boy open and see what we got. Priest's Chime, again, that's basically like a catalyst that we use to cast magic or miracles. And we got the large club. Now, the large club is the weapon that I've been using in my off-camera play. And Pharos Lockstone is an interesting thing that I haven't talked too much about. Basically, you're going to see a lot of this face all over the game. You can buy these things or find these things called Pharos Lockstone. And basically, it's a switch that you kind of put into its mouth, and then it shows you an area. But I think I already know where that area is. It's a secret wall. Maybe it's here? I'm not sure, though. No? You can just use A, I know, as well. You know what? Let's demonstrate its use. So by pressing the A button here, we'll use one of our Pharos Lockstone, insert the switch in its mouth. Always creeps me the F out. And it is over here, so I don't know if maybe I just didn't hit it in the right place. Anyway. This is an area called the Belfry Luna. Now, I don't know if we should actually be here yet, so I'm going to back up, but at least you know that it exists, and we'll come rest of this bonfire. There is another boss fight that takes place there, but I did that with, like, Large Club +8, so I don't know if I want to do that with, like, Battle Axe +4. Large Club's a great weapon. You need 28 strength to wield it, but let's come up here for now, and I think we're basically about to come between a rock and a hard place. There's going to be, like, 2 boss fights that neither of which I really want to encounter right now, if possible, but we might have no choice but to do them. Actually, with 100% block shield, I'll probably be okay to do the boss that comes at the end of this. But, again, if you didn't want to know that there was a boss coming at the end of this, I'm sorry, but so be it, really. Now, we will take out these enemies. When there's only one enemy, I don't mind taking him out. I think it beats running past him, because when you run past him, there's always a decent chance that he might actually hit you, or she might actually hit you, or it might actually hit you. But if you're just fighting a 1v1, then there's very little chance that you're going to get hit by an aggressive attack. Just trying to see what's out here. We might as well take out this guy, too. Get some easy souls, and also placate people who say I just run past all hardship in the game, which is not totally true. It is true that, you know, it's easier for me to run through enemies than to kill them. But it's not a total lack of skill. Not a total lack of skill, anyway. Sure. I don't think I've ever come out on these roofs. There's a way up over there. We'll have to make a jump to make it happen. Does that scare me? Yes. Dark Souls still not the best jumping simulator on the market. We did get a large soul of a nameless soldier. That's like 800, 2,000, somewhere in those vicinity of souls. I don't know what's going on in here, though. Sounds like there's enemies. Oh, I know where we are. Oh, fuck this room. Okay. We gotta open the switch. We don't have to, but we should. It'll take some time. Am I being chased? No. Oh, yes I am. This is why nobody likes these enemies. When they fall, they explode and do fire damage, which is just A, fucking nonsense, but B, real freaking annoying. So, just be cool for now. At least we've opened up that gate. I mean, we could have walked in the front way as well. God damn it. And I think they're almost making me petrified when they hit me as well. Freaking Silent Hill exploding zombies. Petrified is kind of like old cursed, I think. Now, is this the... I forget where the heck we're supposed to go in here. Maybe we open this door up? Maybe we actually... Oh, okay, I know where we are. I know where we are. All right, so you come up here, and you open this. This is the path you normally take, and then you go in here, and you say, well, there's some enemies in here, so you know what? F off forever. I'm not going to deal with these enemies if I can avoid it. There's a secret room around here as well, by the way. It seems like I've already opened it. But let's just run away. Oh, maybe I already killed all those enemies. They rushed at me from this area. This area is a piece of garbage. We're just going to quickly pull this switch. And this will open up a path to our next bonfire. Don't do what I do, kids. Just run across. Always, ABR. Always be running. Oh god, they're chasing me and there's explosive barrels. At least get the fog wall open. There's no invincibility frames anymore. We can still take damage at the fog wall. Okay, and then we come out here and we run up and get ready. Because this is actually one of the most annoying boss fights at this point of the game, for sure. And I realize it seems like it's just boss fight after boss fight. To some extent, that is how I feel about Dark Souls 2. But it's in a good way. There's normally crossbowmen up here that would be really angry at me. I'll demonstrate. I love that this is called the Salt Fort, by the way. But I'll demonstrate how shitty this bonfire is. Get ready. Because you will be dealing with this thing a lot in all likelihood. This is a spot where I got stuck for like a whole night, basically. It's one of the bonfires in the game where there's so many enemies around that you actually, oh, be cool. There's so many enemies around that sometimes you can't even rest at the bonfire when you respawn if they aggro you quickly enough. So we'll just backstab the shit out of him. It's also a good farming spot, I suppose, or if you want to get all of the enemies kicked out of the game as quickly as possible, that would be an option for you as well. So I'm going to rest at this bonfire. I know that it seems like I'm doing this a lot, but this is the benefit of having fast travel, obviously. We're going to go back to Majula, and I'm going to crunch some souls if necessary, but I think I'm going to go for this large club. It is a badass weapon, and it's the build that I'm using off camera as well, so if I can actually, you know, have the same moveset, that would be good, because I know that I can actually make it work. And I'll see how much Titanite we have as well. Because we have enough strength to wield the large club, if I'm correct. We don't need to level up right now, but the battle axe has been good for us. What are we at anyway? +3. It's fine. I don't mind losing it. Large club. This isn't... I think I've been using the great club, actually. But large club seems like a reasonable approximation of that. So that's fine. Plus it just makes our character look badass. So... let's talk. I am going to reinforce my weapon. I guess I do have Titanite. So we'll reinforce large club here. 550 souls. We have enough Titanite to do it a couple of times. Let's go buy some Titanite from you. How much can we buy? He has 0 available. Fuck me, I guess. Let me go talk to this guy then. Otherwise, we're going to have to farm some more Titanite. That was kind of a silly decision then. Hopefully he has Titanite for sale. I don't think that he does, though. How you doing in here?
I've stocked some.
Yeah, okay, you've stocked some new things. Fantastic. What do you got? Alright, I've already seen that. Falconer, Royal Soldier. Elite Knight is a very popular set in Dark Souls 1, I know. Alright, you got jack shit for sale. And now I'm fat rolling because of the newfound difference or newfound strength of my equipment. Heaviness of my equipment. But it does still do more damage than the battle axe. It's also going to be a lot slower, but that's okay. We'll take off our helmet. And we'll take off our gloves. Okay, so we can still keep our shirt on, which is good for everybody watching out there with the torso cam. But I guess we're gonna teleport back and prepare for one of the more annoying parts of the game, I think. And a part where I'm gonna run past a lot of stuff. At least my beard is on glorious display. In fact, before we end this episode, why don't we talk to you? And we will level up if we can. We should still be able to. Ooh, we can't. Well, you know what? Let's take a brief second here and go to our inventory. No reason to keep these souls around. Again, one of the best parts of Dark Souls 2. One of the most quantifiably obvious objective improvements. We're gonna get all of this stuff crunched, and you can also just hang the slider up there and be like, 4 souls of a proud knight? Yeah, use them all at once. That is 8,000 souls for me, and we probably need... that's enough for 2 levels, and we can afford to lose the other ones, I guess. Cool. Level up. And there's more Titanite that we can buy later. Don't worry too much about that. Kind of want to level up my equipment load a little bit. But we can be... like, I know this sounds crazy, but we'll be fine with just a shirt. That's kind of what I've been doing off camera as well. Alright, well that's going to do it for now. Otherwise, the other stuff that I'm just going to do here is maintenance. But we're going to teleport back to... wait, let me see if I have something to burn. No. Okay. We're going to travel back to... Sinner's Rise then, and that'll be what we do in the next episode. Fighting a pretty major end-of-path boss. I don't want to spoil it for you again. He's difficult, but not the most difficult in the game, and in fact, by having a 100% block shield, that is the real secret I found of success with him. But in any case, might take us a couple deaths. I hope you enjoyed the episode in spite of me lion stratting a little bit. If you did, make sure to show your support as the series is still growing. Your support so far has been incredible. Seriously means the world to me. But if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to consider leaving a like, and of course subscribe if you want to see more Dark Souls 2 in the future. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.